Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are looking at the Mini Bugout from Benchmade. As you can see, mine has had a few changes made to it, but the guts and the functionality are still the same. Before I get into specs, I do want to point out that my example here is not a base model. Aside from the scales, which are obviously aftermarket, I actually custom ordered mine to upgrade the steel, which I'll get into here in a little bit. But for those of you that aren't familiar with Benchmade's custom shop, they make several of their models available to customize in a variety of different ways, including scale material and color, blade steel and finish, hardware color, and even custom etching on the blade. Right now, the available folder models include the Bugout and the Mini Bugout, the Griptilian and the Mini Griptilian, the Osborne and the Mini Osborne, and the Crooked River and the Mini Crooked River. Not all options are available in all models, so if you're interested, you'll have to check that out for yourself. So, for example, with the Mini Griptilian, some options for steel that aren't included as options in the Mini Bugout are D2 and 20CV. I think the options for the Mini Bugout are S30V, S90V, and Damasteel, if I remember right. So yeah, you'll just have to kind of look for yourself and see what the options are for the different models that you might be interested in. But I do want to mention that if you qualify for their first responder and law enforcement military discount, you can in fact use that in the custom shop, which is not always the case for most manufacturers. So I actually thought that was pretty cool. So that out of the way, I'm going to talk about both the one that I have here and also the specs for the basic version, the base version, if you want to call it that. Just because I think that's what more people are going to be looking at than doing a custom order like I did. The Mini Bugout comes with a 2.82 inch drop point blade. Mine, as I mentioned, I ordered for the steel, is in S90V. And the base model comes in S30V, both of which are great steels. I just wanted to try the S90V just because it has a reputation for really good edge retention and things like that. My scales are zebra wood scales, and those are from MakeTechCreate. And I will have that site linked below. They also have an Etsy shop. They have a variety of different wood scales and finishes for the Mini Bugout as well as several other knives. But the standard Mini Bugout comes with Gravity scales, not my favorite material by any stretch, which is why I switched it to these. And I do want to show you the stand that you see in my thumbnails is also actually from MakeTechCreate. They sent this along as kind of a little bonus when I ordered it. So I thought that was kind of cool. But anyway, back to the knife. Like most Benchmade knives, it comes with their famous and now widely imitated access lock. And I have been a big fan of the access lock since I started collecting knives. I think it's great because it is ambidextrous and just, I mean, it's a very common sense way of using it. And it's a pretty secure lock, all things considered. Definitely one that I enjoy using. I actually don't think Benchmade probably makes the best access lock anymore because there's so much competition, or if you want to call it a crossbar lock, since only Benchmade calls it the access lock. But anyway, as far as price goes, the MSRP for the base model in S30V is $170. But as with most products, the street price is going to vary. I've seen them as low as the $130 range on sale. But I'd say most of the time I see it in the $150 to $170 range. And I think that's where you can find it pretty regularly. As far as ergos go, the new scales don't change a ton. I do think they definitely make it thicker. You can see they're kind of angular here, so they have their own little flair to them. But they don't change the ergos really, really significantly. I can just get a full 4-finger grip. I'm not hanging off the end here or anything. I wouldn't say that it's one that like I am super comfortable having the 4-finger grip there, but I mean, definitely not falling off the edge there. There's really not enough contouring to the scales, these scales or the original ones, to make a difference as far as filling your hand. With how small the knife is, though, I don't usually go for the full grip anyway. A lot of times I'm using it kind of like a pinch grip, or like, cutting, opening packages, things like that. So this is how I grip it more commonly. But like I said, you can get a full 4-finger grip on there if you want to. The build quality is fine. It's very lightweight, and that can kind of make it feel less sturdy, especially without the full liners, but it stood up just fine. My biggest issue was getting rid of the side-to-side blade play, which, as you can see right now, that's fine. But one little idiosyncrasy that I've learned with this knife is if I, flick it open hard like that, there is no blade play, and you may not be able to see it in the video. But like, say that I slow roll it out like this, I can definitely feel side-to-side blade play, and I do not know the reason for that. Again, flicked it out hard, there's no blade play. So I still haven't figured out why that is the case. If anybody out there is aware, please let me know. But to get rid of the side-to-side blade play, I had to experiment a lot with the screw tightness, not just the pivot screw, but also the body screws, and just kind of try to find the right tension in those. I did also add some oversized washers. That is the one part of the guts of the knife that is a little bit different. I don't think we can probably, you might be able to see them in there, maybe not. But they are oversized washers, and I felt like that helped take up a decent amount of the slop. After that, the blade play seems to be pretty much gone. Though, as I mentioned, depending on how hard I flick it, I can still feel it a little sometimes. But as far as carrying it, its small size and correspondingly lightweight makes this a huge point in its favor. I have a deep carry pocket clip on here. I believe the standard clip is this one. I'm not positive because I custom ordered it, so I can't remember if I had to switch this out or how that worked. But with the deep carry pocket clip, it really disappears in your pocket. And one of the things that I like about this, actually, when it comes to carry, is like I could carry this in my shirt pocket. It is so light, and it wouldn't be super obvious that it was a knife because you just have that mostly sticking out of it. And it just didn't, it won't weigh the shirt pocket down really much at all. So the pros and cons for me. The biggest pro by far is the lightweight of the knife. And I am actually going to bring in a scale. This one has seen a lot of use over the years, so I apologize. It's a little beat up. But, so the stock mini Bugout is 1.5 ounces. So with the wood scales, it actually comes in at 1.4. When I was weighing it earlier, it was coming in at 1.5, so that might just be a little idiosyncrasy of my scale. Maybe not, it's not the most accurate, but even with the wood scales, it's a very, very light knife. Also, the ability to custom order it, I think, is a huge plus if you want to do that. Well, it doesn't quite have the aftermarket of the standard Bugout, because that was one of the things I noticed when I started looking for stuff. It is still one of the knives that has a decent aftermarket. You can really turn this knife into whatever you want. Like, there were some pretty affordable titanium scales out there for it, all kinds of G10, micarta, different kinds of materials. And also like the internals, the screws. I feel like you can find them most anywhere. If you hear some noise in the background, I do apologize. That's our rabbit. So on to the cons. So the biggest con for me has to be the price. Nowadays, $170 for S30V and partial liners and Grivery scales just is not all that competitive in my eyes. Had I not qualified for their pro discount program that I mentioned earlier, I don't think it probably would have been worth it for me. I probably wouldn't have bothered ordering it. I'd also add the tweaking I had to do to get rid of the blade play as a con. To me, when your base price point is $170, that kind of blade play is unacceptable. Like, I don't mind a little bit of tweaking to the pivot screw, but when I had to swap out washers, tweak the tension on these screws and things like that, and that was even before I had the new scales on. So that was with the stock scales, it was that way too. I just don't think that that is all that reasonable for a $170 base price knife. Now, finally, I would also say the size is kind of a con. It was definitely a bit smaller than I expected, and that's just, you know, perception and things like that, not being, not having it in my hand beforehand and getting it in the mail. I was like, "Ooh, wow, this thing is tiny." I actually looked up the uh, measurements for a Swiss Army knife because I felt like this probably wasn't a lot bigger than a Swiss Army knife. Lengthwise, it's actually only about 1/4 of an inch longer than a Swiss Army knife. So this is basically almost Swiss Army knife size, um, which is not what I was expecting when I ordered it. But again, that's on me for not reading as much into it or like trying to figure out those comparisons. Um, so if you are not restricted on blade length, like I am, I have to have a 3-inch and under blade. If that's not the case for you, I think I would go with the regular bug out or the standard size bug out, whatever you want to call it. I just think it would probably fit most people's hands and uses better. But in my case, I'm restricted on the blade size, so this was the best option for me between the two. So now for some comparisons. So first up, I have probably one of the primary competitors in its size range in the Spyderco Para 3. I got a couple of them here just because, you know, I like to show off my knives. It's my channel. Show off my knives. But you can see the blade on the Para 3 is a bit longer, and as are the scales or the handle area. So the Para 3 is just overall a larger knife. Next up, I have probably my favorite blade, and you probably might be tired of hearing me talk about it from the Sage 6 video, but we have the Sage 5. Now, this one I want to toss out here just because it has wood scales, and I thought that was kind of cool to have the wood scaled versions next to each other. These ones are aluminum scales, but you can see, again, blade is a little bit longer, handle's a little bit longer, so these are going to be bigger, especially friendly to larger hands like mine. Now we have one of the knives out there that I think actually does the axis or crossbar lock better than Benchmade, and that is the Kizer Drop Bear. Now these are the two Blade HQ Knife Center exclusive models. This is Burlap Micarta and S90V, and this is aluminum and 20 CV. So as you can see, blade length is a little bit longer, as is the scale handle area. So again, a little bit overall bigger knives. And I just really enjoy the crossbar lock on the drop bears, which isn't to say the one on the Benchmade Mini Bugout is bad. I just enjoy the drop bear more. Here's another one with a little bit different kind of lock. These are the Demko AD20.5. So the 80-20.5, I kind of hesitated because there is an 80-20. So obviously this is a much larger knife when it comes to both the handle area, blade length, also significantly longer. This is still under 3 inches on the blade though. So this is still legal for me to carry in my area. This is the 20 CV version, and this is the AUS 10A version. But again, you can see definitely a bigger, heftier knife. So if you are not looking for a super lightweight knife and you just want something that's more comfortable in your hand, I do find these to be a lot more comfortable for actual use outside of just, you know, cutting open boxes and things like that, which, I mean, if we're honest, that's what most of us do with our knives. But if you want to use it for other stuff, I think those are a little bit heavier duty option. Now next, I think this is probably one of the best comparisons size-wise for the Mini Bugout, and this is the Kizer Original. This is the Route 66 version, and this is, I believe, Gunmetal Gray is what they call that one. You can see pretty similar size-wise in the scale area, a little bit larger scales. The blade is a smidge longer, but the blade shape is pretty similar. Size is pretty similar. So if you have a Kizer Original, I think that's a good point of reference for the Mini Bugout. It's a little bit smaller, but not a bunch smaller. And next, we have another one that I actually like the crossbar lock on it a little bit better. It is the Hogue Ritter Mini RSK. Now you can see the scales are definitely longer here. The blade is longer, so again, a little bit bigger of a knife. And last but not least, we have the Kershaw Bel Air. Again, noticeably longer in the handle area, noticeably longer in the blade area, but similar size class, but the Mini Bugout is definitely smaller. So, with all that looked at, what is the Mini Bugout's place in my collection? So this has actually, I would say, become my go-to gentleman's knife. It doesn't have the same narrow profile of something like the CRKT CEO, but it is fairly small and inoffensive, for lack of a better use of the term. Compared to some knives, if somebody saw you pull it out, it just looks like what most people would call a regular pocket knife. Doesn't have like a flashy blade shape or anything like that. The lightweight means it doesn't weigh down my pockets and my dress slacks or my khakis like some of my other knives do. And again, personal opinion, but I think the wood scales for MakeTechCreate make this a super classy looking knife. So, what do you think? Was I too hard on the Mini Bugout? Am I out of touch on the cost? Is the cost more reasonable than I think it is? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, please consider liking and subscribing. Also, if there are any knives or other EDC gear that you really want me to check out, please suggest them down in the comments. If I already have them, I'll start working on a review, or if I had not, I will add it to my list and try to get a hold of them. So until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I will see you in the next video.